Welcome back to Living Local. John Lodge, legendary bass player, songwriter, and vocalist of the Moody Blues and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, will be bringing his incredible new show, Performs Days of Future Past, to the Midwest, which includes a stop right here in the Quad Cities. And joining us now via Zoom in this segment, sponsored by the Adler Theatre, is the legendary John Lodge. John, how are you, man?
Fine, thank you. Greetings from a summer's day here in the UK.
That's awesome, man. Thanks so much for doing this today. First, I need to tell you that Evening Time, Time to Get Away is one of my favorite songs of all time, and the version with the Toronto World Festival Orchestra is so rad, and I just wanted to thank you because that song has saved my soul more than once. So, dude, yeah, man, it is so cool to talk to you. So,
thank you.
yeah. So this album, Days of Future Past, has always been a favorite of mine. It's rock and roll, it's symphonic, it's operatic, it's sublime storytelling. But what was the inspiration to put this together?
I think the original it came from the Decca Record Company here in England. They wanted to incorporate classical music and pop music, and they had the idea of what I could say, Dvorak's New World Symphony. We should take Dvorak's New World Symphony, put new lyrics to it, and record it as an album. Because Decca Record Company at the time not only had the software, i.e. the records, they had a hardware company as well. Okay. And they had invented this thing called full frequency recordings, which was really a precursor to stereo.
Yeah.
And they had the hardware to perform that. So they were trying to sell, I think, the two lots, the record and the hardware. And they asked us to do, but you know, we rehearsed a day show, an all-day show for the 34 minutes we're on stage, and we said, hey, let's not do Dvorak, let's do our version.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. The sound that you get out of it is so awesome. So the tour is highlighting this album, and has this always been a goal to give this album some more focus?
Yeah, when we with the Moody's, when the centenary was coming up, the celebration of the 50 years or whatever it was, we made the live album. But then we went on the road, and we only did a few concerts. And I thought myself, it's a shame, because I wanted to bring that album to all of America, actually all around the world. But I really wanted to bring the album to America. And last year, about 18 months ago, I looked at it again and thought, well, I wonder if I could do it with my band. Yeah. And I got together with my keyboard player and my musical director, said, I think we could do this. And then I went to see Graham Edge, and I said to Graham, will you record your poetry for me, because I'm going to do Days of Future Past on stage. And he said, John, it'd be an honor. He said, keep the Moody Blues music alive.
Yeah.
So I got ready, Graham, to record, and I filmed him. So he's got a special place on stage with me forever now, narrating his poetry.
Yeah.
And then as cool. John Davison come along from Yes to join me on some of the vocals, and he said yes. And then we got the concert.
Yeah, and Graham Edge was a huge idol of mine. I've been drumming since I was about 2 years old, and my dad got me into the Moody Blues when I was younger, and so it was a hard thing when he passed, but it's so cool that you have him incorporated into the show. That's so rad that happens. That must be a pretty powerful moment for you every night.
It's a really powerful moment, and just thinking about it now, you just shivers up my spine, actually. But because when his voice comes over and you can see him on stage, narrating this poetry, and you see Graham, the lovable guy, up there, and thinking, it's not here now. It's it's a big moment, and the audience really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
So what else can audiences expect to hear at the show besides, the highlights from this album? What else are you playing?
Well, the first half of the concert is all major classical Moody Blues records. I'll also do a tribute to Ray Thomas. Ray Thomas and I met Ray when I was 15. We started playing together when I was 15 years of age. And I performed Legend of a Mind, which really is Ray. It really is Ray.
That's awesome.
And also for songs like Sing in a Rock and Roll Band and Isn't Life Strange, a song from the Blue Jays album.
Yeah. You mentioned John Davison from Yes is also rocking out with you on Nights with White Satins. That's what he's joining you on. How did that connection happen?
So when I was coming to put the album together, I thought, oh no, John will be brilliant singing Tuesday afternoon and Nights with White Satin.
I love that.
He is actually brilliant. He's a beautiful person, great singer, great musician.
Yeah. And so what do you hope audiences take away from this show, John?
For people who know the album, I hope it reintroduces them to the album. For people who don't know the album, I hope it will be a surprise to them, and they'll take something away from the concert that they didn't have before they came that night.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, John, this has been a huge pleasure to talk with you. I'm excited to see the show when you come through Davenport. So thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, and all the old viewers, thank you for keeping the faith.
Yeah, thanks, John. I really appreciate that. Have a good one, sir.
Bye.
You can check out John's show right here in Davenport at the Adler Theatre on July 14th. For details, check out johnlodge.com. And the Adler Theatre was this segment's sponsor, and you can get all the details on John's show and more by visiting adlertheatre.com. We'll have all those details posted at ourquadcities.com. More Living Local continues after the break. Stay with us.